Hi, within this video we're going to tackle dynamic arrays within Excel. These are really handy. I don't know if you'd call it a function, but just a way to grab a whole matrix of values in order to use it within a formula. And so without further ado, we're going to actually show this within Excel. So we're going to use this, a few good things to know about Excel file, and the different concepts. Again, we're covering dynamic arrays, but we want two different examples. And so we're going to use one that uses the matrix multiplication function and another that actually uses it in reference to text. So I'll click over into Excel. You can see that I actually magnified the formula bar so you can see what I'm typing, and then you can see the general structure of the Excel file up above. So if I click over here, maybe first we'll describe the structure and what you're looking at here. So you see this column x0, again, we've replaced that with 1. That's just for the matrix multiplication function to work very efficiently. X1 and X2, these are your other inputs. So you can see that each of these is basically a different experiment or observation. And then we want to make a prediction, which would be y1, y2, and ultimately z is going to be like the final model prediction. Up above we have theta naught, theta 1, theta 2. These are just some values that we're using. So again, you would typically train your model in order to obtain these model parameters. Here we're just going to use integer values from 1 to 8 in order to show this. So we're going to start with these y's, and we're going to actually do the matrix multiplication. So matrix multiplication, and then we're going to select our x's. And since there's 3 columns, we're going to need 3 different values, or rows within our thetas, our model parameters. We're going to select 2 columns, which is going to give us 2 columns of outputs as well. So close parentheses, enter. Okay, so it actually did this. So for all of those in the column y1, it actually multiplied 1, 2, and 3 by x0, x1, and x2 respectively within each row. For y2, it chose these theta values, so 4, 5, and 6, and did the same. 4, 5, and 6 times x0, x1, and x2 respectively, and then summed them all together. But the interesting thing is that you have this box around all of these values. And that box is actually a dynamic array. So whenever you select what is the upper right-hand corner, so we can do equals here, E9, or upper left-hand corner, and put the number symbol after it, it knows to grab all of the values within that dynamic array. So now we're going to do matrix multiplication. We are going to grab that entire dynamic array, and then we're going to multiply that by these 2 theta values. And now we've got a new dynamic array. So again, it did the matrix multiplication and produced this new dynamic array. What's interesting is, again, it says E9 here. And I can replace that. You see it's grabbing these different values. And you can see that, E9 to F25, if I were to grab all of these. But the minute I encompass the entire dynamic array, it shifts to E9 number. So it knows that that's a dynamic array. and then we can press enter. Again, the same thing. So it's pretty cool how it knows to grab all of the values within these dynamic arrays, and you can use that in so many different ways within Excel. So now I kind of scroll down to this text example. So I just chose different text in a galaxy far, far away. So you can use this dynamic array properties with text as well. So the first thing we can do is right now they're individual cells. So sometimes you have to just convert it to a dynamic array. And so you can just select a group of cells, hit enter. Now you see that box around it. So now it's a dynamic array. Maybe you want to use the unique function. So the unique function is going to return only the unique values. So C30, and we use the number symbol so it knows to grab the entire dynamic array. Okay, since there were two fars, there's now only one far. Sometimes you may want to sort, so you can sort. I select D30. I put the number symbol there for the dynamic array, close parentheses, enter. Okay, so now it's sorted that alphabetically. There's different, actually, if you want to do the sort order, you can do -1 for descending. So in galaxy far away, or we can just change it back. And then you can do something really fancy. Maybe you wanted to get rid of and keep the rest of the words. I'm gonna click over here and just highlight this equation. And I'm going to paste it up here. Now, what is it doing? It's going to filter this dynamic array. And it's looking for, it looks like the left character of this dynamic array. Where is it not equal to A? Okay, so that would get rid of A and away. And if that is equal to A, then, it's going to create this sort of filter. So enter, far galaxy in, and you could also do something where is it equal to A? So that's just an example of how you might use these dynamic arrays in both a numeric and a text example. And we're going to use this a lot as we look at neural networks and how they work. In fact, for those of you that are familiar with neural networks, this looks an awful lot like Y1 and Y2. These are nodes within a hidden layer, and Z would be like an output node. Now, without the activation functions, which we'll cover in a future video. So thank you.